The best way out is to always through. In 3 words I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. 2 roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by a hand that has made all the difference. I took the one less traveled by a hand that has made all the difference. Happiness makes up in height for what it lacks in length. The only way around is through. Poetry is when an emotion has found its thought, and the thought has found words. A poem begins in delight and ends in wisdom. We love the things we love for what they are. The world is full of willing people, some willing to work, the rest willing to let them. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I'd rather he said it for himself. When I see birches bend to left and right across the lines of straighter, darker trees, I like to think some boy's been swinging them, but swinging doesn't bend them down to stay as ice storms do. Often you must have seen them loaded with ice a sunny winter morning. After a rain, they click upon themselves as the breeze rises and turn many-colored, as the stir cracks and crazes their enamel. Soon the sun's warmth makes them shed crystal shells. Home is the place where, when you have to go there, they have to take you in. I should have called it something you somehow haven't to deserve. My long 2-pointed ladders sticking through a tree toward heaven still, and there's a barrel that I didn't fill beside it, and there may be 2 or 3 apples I didn't pick upon some bough. But I am done with apple picking now. Essence of winter sleep is on the night, the scent of apples I am drowsing off. I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city light. I have loped down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat, and dropped my eyes, and willing to explain. Doing a man's work, though a child at heart, he saw all spoiled. Don't let him cut my hand off. The doctor, when he comes, don't let him, sister. So, but the hand was gone already. Such as we were, we gave ourselves outright. The deed of gift was many deeds of war, with the land vaguely realizing westward, but still unstoried, artless and enhanced. Such as she was, such as she would become. The road there, if you'll let a guide direct you, who only has at heart you're getting lost, may seem as if it should have been a quarry. Great monolithic knees the former town long since gave up pretense of keeping covered. I have passed by the watchman on his beat, and dropped my eyes, and willing to explain, I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet, when far away an interrupted cry came over houses from another street. For I have had too much of apple picking. I am overtired of the great harvest I myself desired. There were 10,000 fruit to touch, cherish in hand, lift down and not let fall. Mary sat musing on the lamp flame at the table, waiting for Warren. When she heard his step, she ran on tiptoe down the darkened passage to meet him in the doorway with the news and put him on his guard. Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. So was I once myself a swinger of birches, and so I dream of going back to be. It's when I'm weary of considerations, and life is too much like a pathless wood. He gives his harness bells a shake, to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. To roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. There is a singer everyone has heard, laud, a midsummer and a midwood bird, who makes the solid tree trunks sound again. He says that leaves are old, and that for flowers, midsummer is to spring as 1 to 10. There is a singer everyone has heard, laud, a midsummer and a midwood bird, who makes the solid tree trunks sound again. He says that leaves are old, and that for flowers, midsummer is to spring as 1 to 10. Ah, when to the heart of man was it ever less than a treason to go with the drift of things, to yield with a grace to reason, and buy and accept the end of a love or a season? Ah, when to the heart of man was it ever less than a treason to go with the drift of things, to yield with a grace to reason, and buy and accept the end of a love or a season? Love at the lips was touch as sweet as I could bear, and once that seemed too much. I lived on air that crossed me from sweet things, the flow of was it musk from hidden grapevine springs, downhill. Subscribe to watch more content like this.